Hello everybody and welcome to my second ever Sims 4 speed build. If the beginning looked a little weird there, it's because I'd already built the shell and I'd forgotten to hit record. So I just undid it and then redid it all so you guys could see the process. I probably could have just started with the shell already built and explained that, but I didn't do that, so never mind. Anyway, today we are building a house in Mount Komorebi for a sim called Suki Havan. Suki was one of the sims that I made during a Roll for Sim video, which I post over on my TikTok at _sassia_. I post Roll for Sims over there. And Suki was one of the people that we made. I don't remember what episode she was made in, but she has the Mount Komorebi sightseer aspiration. So that's why we're here in Mount Komorebi. She's also ambitious, a dance machine, and materialistic. This house is 50,000, I think, at the end. So, you know, the materialism does come through. There's a lot of knickknacks, a lot of bits and bobs. But I think this house is it really suits the Mount Komorebi thing, but then also kind of embraces the more modern touches. You can see Suki out front there as I'm whizzing around building. Obviously, because you can see by her look, she is a little bit more of a modern woman. But I still kept a very traditional Mount Komorebi style. Obviously I used a lot of stuff from Snowy Escape, but I used a lot of stuff from a lot of other packs too. I don't know exactly how many packs I used, but hey, I'm just having fun with these. I just build and have a great time. So we've got the basic shell down, so I'm getting to the inside now. I'm building a split level in this little entry place here. We're going upstairs to I wanted to switch up the color scheme a little bit up here, so yeah, I did grays instead of the browns that are downstairs. The two colors that I rolled for her liking in the episode were red and green, so I do incorporate quite a lot of those, but that doesn't give me a lot to work with in terms of, like, you know, neutral colors to base the home off of. And I'm not adhering to any strict rules when I build these people's homes, that it doesn't have to contain like all of the colors they like. If they dislike any colors, then I would, you know, not include those colors, but she doesn't dislike any colors, so I mostly, when I did put color in, it was reds and greens, and I just used a lot of neutrals then to build up the rest of the house without it looking like a crazy person lives there. We got a nice small kitchen here, a little kitchenette. It felt very intimate, very nice. That's really the only dining table there. Later there will also be like a picnic table outside, like one of the Mount Komorebi, one of the Snowy Escape ones. But that's pretty much the only dining table in the house, and I like it because anytime I've actually played in Mount Komorebi, I have just like a regular dining table, and it just feels a bit fun to embrace the tradition of sitting on the floor when you're building a house in Mount Komorebi. Not to mention, this house is pretty small. I really wanted to have a back garden, and I know there's that like huge space at the front of the lot that I didn't use, but I will put something there eventually, and you'll kind of see what I was going for. I won't give too much away. I really like that little like accent wall that I decided to put in, bring in more of the green into this room, make it feel just a little bit more alive. I love layering those rugs as well. I know I'm not the only one, I know we all love it, but those little rugs from Snowy Escape, you size them up, you layer them together, they just make a great like little fuzzy rug, and I thought it would be fun. So you're not, I know it's like warmed under there, that's like the whole thing with those little, what they call kotatsu tables. I said that in a very British way. Kotatsu, I think, would be a more accurate way to say it. I think that's the thing with those little kotatsu tables, and I just thought it would be nice to have a little fuzzy rug under there, you know. We're moving to the living room. This person, like, she probably wouldn't spend too much time in her living room, but I did include a little speaker, so you know there's space down here. She can break out the dance moves. There's no like dance floor or anything. I felt like just having a dance floor in your home is a bit weird. I say that in my like not so very challenge. I do have a dance floor in my house, but that's not so berry. It's wacky, it's weird, okay? That's, you know, it's the Plum generation, or it was. They're dead now. Anyway, I'm going completely off track. But yeah, just having like a random dance floor in your house, not it. And this is in the same area as where like the bar in Mount Komorebi is, so she has easy access to like a more nightclub environment. If you actually wanted to put like a nightclub down in Mount Komorebi, this is probably the area you'd put it in. But yeah, I'm just going around furnishing, throwing up some clutter and decor in the kitchen. Halfway through this video, I say halfway, I think like most of the way through this video, I end up getting the everyday clutter kit and the pastel pop kit. So I was building this, and then I took a break for like a couple of days, and in those couple of days I managed to acquire the everyday clutter kit and the pastel pop kit. So I come back and add a bunch of more clutter. I wasn't done with the build by that point either. I was just taking a break for a couple of days because this did take me a while. And this whole build all in all took me like maybe like 2.5 something hours. But I love dedicating a bunch of time to building it. You see I was really struggling there with that little like sauce thingy to like get it on a good level. But yeah, just going in, adding a bunch of clutter in the kitchen. I forgot that we got like plates in Horse Ranch as well, otherwise I would have put those in, but I was just using the paranormal plates from the Snowy Escape pack. It's fine. Using that little trick where you like put a painting on the edge of a shelf to make it look like it's resting on the shelf. I've never done that before. I've seen Little Simsy do it loads. She's pretty much like the only Sims YouTuber I watch. If I like, I'm so down to have like more recommendations for that stuff. I just don't know who I would like. But yeah, here we go. We're adding some more clutter into the kitchen. As you can see, a lot of greens, a lot of reds, as I said. Some books down there for some cookbooks. As much as I really love these Snowy Escape like counters and stuff for like clutter reasons, like you can really make the kitchen like lived in. I really like what I did there on top of the like vent hood. I put the little bonsai tree and the little books, and one of them's got like a folder, so it's almost like homemade recipes and stuff like that. I feel like it's a really Asian thing. But yeah, coming over to the living room now, I really like those pieces of art I put up on the wall. It's a nice shared space. I like it, you know, and I like where I put that hanging scroll. It's kind of like it's like hanging from the banister. It's a small home. You make use of the space. This is only a 1-bedroom home. Again, there is like a huge space on the front of the lot that I didn't use, but I was only making this for Suki. So a single sim could live here, a couple could live here, but it's not really meant for a family. It's meant for Suki. Suki doesn't, I don't think she really wants kids. She's out here living her own life, you know, an ambitious dance machine who's materialistic. Do you know how expensive kids are? No, she values her money more than she wants to continue her family's legacy. But yeah, making this little area, I knew I wanted to put a desk there, but then there was just that space, like with the banister next to the desk, and so I was just kind of like, you know what, I'll just throw a bunch of clutter there before I even had the everyday clutter kit. I love cluttering up my builds. You guys saw my last video, and if you haven't, I would recommend you go check it out. If you like speed builds, it's a lot shorter than this one, and it's just like a messy apartment, and I had a lot of fun with it because it was something new. I have built a few Mount Komorebi lots before for my own personal games, but those have been quite big because they've been for quite wealthy families. the wealthy families being my legacy families. So they've just built money, and one of them is a legacy that I've stayed on the same lot since generation 1, and I'm now on like generation 7 or something, generation 6 maybe, I think. But yeah, it's ridiculous. And the houses are huge, and my other legacy, like, they moved to Mount Komorebi for that generation. It's only like generation 4, I think, but they had a lot of money, so they just got a fucking winter mansion built up in the hills of Mount Komorebi. So this is my first time building like a small, more accessible home in Mount Komorebi. It's my first time building in this area as well. I've not built in this area before of Mount Komorebi. In my not so very challenge, I live in the area south of this one, and then obviously in my other legacy challenge, or just game, it's not really a challenge, it's just a game. In my other game, I live up in the mountains with the snowy things. Yeah, where it's just snow all the time. That must be so interesting if you like don't have seasons but you have snowy escape. I think about this all the time. If you don't have seasons but you have snowy escape, that's the only place you can go to experience snow. That's so weird. Like, nowhere else snows, nowhere else gets snow. Like, I know it doesn't snow in Oasis Springs really, but like nowhere else gets snow. Anyway, we're coming into the bedroom, adding some clutter to the top of the wardrobe. I really like that idea. I've done that in a few of my builds, and it's quite fun. You know, it makes sense. You got space up there, use it. To me, also, she's quite sentimental. She keeps like cards and stuff. Part of her character that I did roll in Roll for Sim is that she's a trans woman. So maybe she's like keeping cards from when people first started to use her chosen name, which would be Suki. But yeah, I like that idea. I just came up with that. Moving on to the bathroom, I wanted to honor the thing that a lot of builds in Mount Komorebi do, true to actual Japanese houses, which is having a separate room for the toilet, and then, you know, sink, shower in another room. So you've got those in there. Put some like little pictures on the wall. I felt like that, to me, feels so like homey. Like, you've got this little room with a little toilet in it, and there's just some pictures on the other side of the wall. I really like that. I like those little stickers of the little mountain fella. What's his name? I don't remember the guy's name. Oh, that's really bad. I'm sure there's more important things taking up my memory, like song lyrics. But yeah, we're coming out to the balcony now, and I was quite excited to do this balcony because it's fun. I just like balconies. And you saw how much fun I had with that other balcony in my previous speed build. So, another balcony to have fun with. This one's a little cozier, less gross. I like to think that Suki comes out here to do like some stretches in the morning, you know, being a having the Mount Komorebi. I don't think it's the sightseer aspiration, it's the other one where she wants to like do skiing and climb the mountain and stuff like that. I forget what it's called, but it gives you like a fitness one. Like, the extra trait it gives you is like a fitness one. So I assumed that she would be a pretty fit person then. Going ahead, adding some nice clutter around the balcony to make it feel homey and lived in, adding windows. I like to like build the house first and then add windows, because then I can just put things wherever I want, and then I put the windows where they're like convenient. And it looks a little bit weird from the outside because, you know, in the front there's no windows, but that's because there's like those bars on the wall, and I feel like it would just look weird. Like, you have windows that you can't like access because there's bars there. Anyway, that's just how I feel about it. And here we go. There is me having access now to the everyday clutter kit, and I'm going around and I'm adding some things. When I was putting that end table there, at first I was like, you know what would be great here? Those mugs from the everyday clutter kit. As you can see, I really benefit from having these kind of clutter kits. I just really like them. I do want to get the bathroom clutter kit at some point soon, put some snacks there in the kitchen, some magazines. I'm just having so much fun. I'm going around, I'm throwing so much clutter down. Get rid of those letters, didn't like them anyway. Shoes, phone, a water bottle. So many water bottles in this house, but you know, she's a fit person, she needs them, she needs to take them out. She's like, oh yeah, there's one water bottle there. Where's my water bottle? Oh, I don't know, I'll buy one while I'm out. I don't know, that's just the mentality to me. She's materialistic, you know. She's like, oh, I like this water bottle, but I also like that water bottle. It's fine, I'll just get myself all the water bottles. Makes sense to me. Like, is that a very materialistic thing to do? Yes. Moving on to the garden. I had so much fun in this garden. I spent so long on it, like ridiculously long was spent on this garden. But we're only like 15 minutes through the video, and there's still a decent amount to go. Yeah, that's how long I spent on this garden, guys. But because this is just a speed build and I'm doing this for the sake of building, I'm not going to play on this a lot or anything, I just had fun. I was just like, hey, hell, like, why not? I'm just going to go off. I'm just going to make a really elaborate and detailed garden. And I feel like this is also kind of indicative of a materialistic personality, is to have this really like manicured and really well kept garden, especially behind that like little fence thing. So I chose a few plants that I liked, that I thought fit together, and I also really like with like the bamboo and that big tree and the fence, that it really helps the garden feel private. It is obviously on kind of like a main street kind of area, but it really helps the garden feel sophisticated and private and just nice. But this is a garden that I'm pretty proud of. I've been trying to get better at landscaping in general, because it's not something that came to me very innately. It's something that I kind of picked up the skill of how to do from like watching speed builds of people. But yeah, like watching Little Simsy and stuff, she's great at it and she gives a lot of really useful tips. And so, you know, I chose a few things that I liked, put them around. I was like, this goes there, this needs a space to fill in, I'll put this there, etc, etc. So just putting some, you know, space fillers, and then going in putting some rocks. You gotta love rocks, right? By the way, is this a queer thing? Like, we like collecting rocks and stuff. Is that like what like flavor of people like to do that? Because I like to do it, and I know my friends like to do it. This is new. All of my things are yellow because I had to I was building in my Not So Berry save file, and it was lagging like crazy. So I was just like, I'm gonna have to do that thing where I like back up my saves in the tray and then like reinstall the game, right? You delete the folder, reinstall the game, put your files back in, and all your saves and stuff are still there, and they'll be less laggy. Super useful for when you've had the game for like years and you're on like you're on legacy, you're on like generation 10 or something, and it's like chugging away. Just doing that handy little thing is super useful. But I forgot that it does this. It treats everything like it's new. But here we go. I'm finally working on that little bit on the outside that I said I was going to, and I hope you guys can see what I'm doing, because what I'm doing is essentially like, you know, that is the house, and then what hasn't been built on is just the street, right? So she has that house, she owns that house, like owns the garden and everything, but then outside of that it's just the street. And I quite like that, so I put like a billboard on the edge there, and I've put like those little flags, and I'm just moving around the place checking to see if there's anything I can do. And I was like, oh, curtains. I haven't put up curtains. Why am I so bad remembering to put curtains in my Sims builds. I don't know. It just doesn't come instinctively to me, I guess. Also, I don't like that curtain snapped fine to that window and then the curtain rod didn't. It was weird. Like, really weird. Struggled to pick some curtains here. Maybe this is why I don't like curtains. I just struggle with them. I'm like, I don't know which one to pick. But then I saw these like fun little roof things. And I was like, oh, you know what? They're from the Snowy Escape pack. I will use those. And then I saw how stupid they looked when they've got a roof, when the windows have already got a roof over them. And I was like, no, I'm going to get rid of those ones. And then I left the ones that are like more exposed. They don't exactly have like a roof over them. But yeah, there we go. I think I moved some like bushes and stuff, some shrubbery. I add a little table here, you know, maybe she likes to come out in the morning sometimes, drink some coffee, write in her diary. There we go. Added some flags there. Just a little gardening kit. It, again, needs to be manicured. Should probably pay someone to do it, let's be honest. But yeah, just adding all of the clutter that I know I want to be on there and then go ahead and throwing it down. I like those magazines because I kind of imagined it as like, oh, here's all the, you know, news in Mount Komorebi. Here's all the things that you can do. But yeah, I had so much fun, and the lights in the garden as well, just epic. I gave it the bracing breezes and convivial lot traits. But yeah, here we go. Here are some pictures. You can see Suki there. That's the house from the outside. You can get a better look at that billboard with the vending machines next to it. I really like how it looks. I think it looks so fun. It just adds a nice bit of character to this build. You can see Suki popping her little head in there. But there is the front of the house. Please, Sims, allow us to paint the underside of roofs. Oh my god. Here's the little entryway. You got the snowboards, the clutter under the stairs. I really like that. And this is also in the entryway. You've got some shoes, an umbrella, place to put your coats, a mirror to check yourself before you go out. Of course, a water bottle. Lots of Snowy Escape clutter, a little cluttered living room. I really like it, you know. It's just a small, cute little living room, but it feels really intimate, really nice. That's the little kotatsu at the edge of the kitchen, like looking through the kitchen. I think that's quite a nice shot there. A better look at the kitchen itself with some of the clutter and a little view of what it looks like out of the window there. I like it. A little view of the back garden. She's got a little punching bag out there for maybe when it's raining and she can't go out to work on the mountain, to work out on the mountain. Another shot of the back garden. You can get a nice view of those lanterns. I really like the addition of the lanterns. Just a little view of the side with the chair, with all the landscaping, and again those beautiful lanterns. This is what the upstairs looks like. A very small landing, very tight landing, but I think it looks quite nice. The view from the top of the stairs out across the rest of the landing, the nice little cluttered office area. Here is the bedroom with, you know, a little bit of clutter. I kept it less cluttered than the rest of the things because it has, like, you know, the wardrobe and stuff. So it's like a bunch of stuff could have been thrown in there. I like the addition of the shoes. Just outside, it's like, you know, they're new, they get to be packed away, stuff like that. Cute little bathroom. I really like the bathroom. I like the sink I went with as well. I feel like it really fits the whole vibe. Here's the toilet in its own little room. I did put a little like bin by the side there. It looks quite cute, I think. I did size it down as well. But yeah, those paintings or pictures on the other side of the bathroom for you to just stare at if you forgot to bring your phone in, you know. There's the Snowy Escape shower with like the little bucket and stool thing. I really like that. Then we come out on the balcony and you can see the little like plant area with the candles where she does some yoga sometimes. Comes out in the morning sometimes up here maybe. and has a cup of coffee. Maybe she's with a friend or something. They go out and chill up there. But yeah, that's the back of the lot and our last picture, and I hope you guys enjoyed.